see I am poetry on a stick, but Graham is a stickler for stickless sets. So tonight I will do this stickless. That's just because I have a podium to hang on to. The poet that really started me when I was 9 was Louis MacNeice, so that's the poem I chose from the canon. It's his little poem called Autobiography. His mother had a breakdown after a baby. She was put in a mental hospital, as people did then, because there's such a taboo about mental health. And they told little Louis that his mother was dead. And he accepted this for 3 years, and then she got a little bit better and she came back, which totally confused the young child. And then she actually died and didn't come back. And that's what the refrain is in this. It's called Autobiography by Louis MacNeice. In my childhood, trees were green, and there was plenty to be seen. Come back early or never come. My father made the walls resound. He wore his collar the wrong way round. Come back early or never come. My mother wore a yellow dress. Gently, gently, gentleness. Come back early or never come. When I was 5, the black dreams came. Nothing after was quite the same. Come back early or never come. The dark was talking to the dead. The lamp was dark beside the bed. Come back early or never come. When I woke, they did not care. Nobody was there. Come back early or never come. When my silent terror cried, nobody replied. Come back early or never come. I got up. The chilly sun saw me walk away alone. Come back early or never come. Thank you. When I was 10, I used to go up to Dublin, and I used to have enough money to get the bus to Dublin and come back. And I'd walk around and just be there. And unfortunately, I discovered a record called Louis MacNeice Reads Louis MacNeice. And I was in the dilemma whether I should walk home or buy the record. So I did what any normal 10-year-old would do. I walked 40 miles home with the record under my arm and arrived after midnight, and my parents go, "What the hell?" And they were so pleased to see me. They kept slapping my head and going, "Oh, I got Louis MacNeice." So you have to be that dedicated to poetry. The other poet I liked greatly when I was small, and still do, was Auden. And as I walked out one morning, or one evening, walking down Bristol Street. So this is called Audenesque, written, riffing off of that. As I walked out one morning, walking down Auden Street, no crowds upon the pavement, no sound of people's feet. The nightmare, it had happened, and time had run away. Blake's rose, it had sickened. No tomorrow, now no today. Jack had been eaten by the giant. The fairy tale had turned grim. History, a tale told by an idiot. Good God, nobody believed in him. I looked in the mirror, and nothing of me could I see. Desert and glacier laughed in my face, mocking to be, not to be. It was late in the evening. The world we had known was gone, and I, the only ghost left living, to ponder how it all went wrong. Thank you. Right, we get on to me. And a very important man for me was, beside Louis MacNeice, was my Uncle Michael. My Uncle Michael was the delight of my childhood. He was a treasure trove for a little boy like me, and he was the person who showed me how that the world could be seen differently, and that you didn't have to accept it. This is Uncle Michael talking. It's called "A Thin Slice of Ham in the Hand is Better Than a Fat Pig in a Dream." Never bolt your door with a boiled carrot. As Uncle would say with a wink, tongue in cheek. It didn't make any sense, as our door was always open. We never knew it locked. And I liked my carrots raw and stolen, plucked from my father's little plot, he perplexed by little human rabbits. His mud-caked boots standing amazed as we hid, holding our breaths among the flowering curb pinks. But poets and pigs are only appreciated after death, as they say, whoever they were. But as I always say, don't be after breaking your shin on a stool that isn't there. Thank you. keeping with the man who made me a poet, this is called Singing the River. And I'm very interactive with poems. They become part of my life. I live them. There's a very famous song called Carrick Down. I will be singing it to you in a minute. Michael, you can close your ears if you so desire. It's not Gun Club, but there you go. And it's sort of like the national anthem of Cork. And it was written by Denny Lane. And the Ona Bwee means the Yellow River. And the Yellow River was at the bottom of our field. And I thought, wow, a song, and there's our field. And the chorus is, and Dónall swore I owe. And I thought, I'm in the song. The river's in the song. So, and I used to get it sung to me all the time. So this is called Singing the River. Walking with my uncle was never the ordinary process of perambulation. In order to get from point A to point Z, we would sing our way west into the field as if to tame it, soothe it with sound. On Carrick Down, the heat was brown, we'd sing to it. The clouds are dark ordinarily, the grass listening with its 1,000 ears. And the field would swoon and fall down to the river at its border, which, as it happened, was the real-life river of the song. To kiss the slumbering Ona Bwee, as if we had sung it into existence. And we would roll ourselves down over and over until we arrived at its dizzy waters, dangling our toes in pure song. And now, with a quick uncle wink, let's walk home, backwards. And backwards home we'd go, just for the laugh of it, the yes of it, confusing cows and a few scattered clouds, trees and hedges tiptoeing away from us, the 5-bar gate with the sweetest, wildest strawberries at its feet, proclaiming, is it Magyar or what? And the next day, off we'd go, walking eyes closed in a darkness of our own making, to sing its song to the river chuckling over stones to itself. And the next day would be backwards and with eyes closed, led along by our own laughter and the odd mystified moo. Farewell, we'd tell the sleepy river. Farewell, leaving it dreaming in a sunset. Shh, shushed their footsteps, shushes walking backwards. When Dónall swore, I owe, he'd part no more. A storm a cree. Thank you. Now, you may have gathered that my name is Dónall Dempsey. If you put that in Irish, it would be Dónall Dempsey Gazanam Dom. Dónall Dempsey is the name on me. So I will tell you a little bit about my name. Dónall Dempsey Gazanam Dom. I was born the weight of a bag of sugar. 2 pounds to be precise. That was all there was to me. My belly, alas, weighs more than that now. The dad could hold me in his fist and I'd disappear except for the little dangly, dancy, leggy bits. I had Elvis sideburns, I was all shook up, and entered this world of ours feet first, putting my best foot forward, ready to rock and roll, man. Doris Day was singing Que Sera, Sera. And what do you think they call the tiniest baby ever seen? Why, Dónall. Dónall, of course. Dónall meaning world mighty spear power, and Dempsey itself meaning the proud one. Ah, the majesty of the Celtic tongue. A wrestler's name, if ever, and in the green corner, or an Ozymandias name, look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. The ma would always spoil it for me. World mighty, spear power the proud one. You get your ass in here this minute and finish your homework. Oh, ma. An awful big name, to be sure, for a little fella to live up to. But I do my best, putting words to the test, wrestling with rhymes, stealing through your mind, for I am I not, the poet with the hyperbolic name. World mighty spear power, the proud one. Thank you. The thing that I do when I'm writing with kids is they have to introduce themselves, but instead of getting to say their names, I say, write down your names backwards. And they write down their names backwards and it turns them into aliens and all different nationalities, and they love that. That's the first thing of invention to do without even thinking, just write your name backwards. So this is called Dónall Dempsey, indeed. Leonard Yesbid. He squinted at my driver's license. It's pronounced Clement, I said with extreme exasperation. You're not from these here parts, are you, fella? He drawled dryly. squinting closely first at me and back at my ID. I'm of Welsh, Turkish extraction, but I was born on Venus, I explained as if to a little kid. He snorted, a tiny trickle of snot yo-yoing up and down his hairy left nostril. If you was to spell your name backwards, it would spell Dónall Dempsey. I was not amused. You know, that crazy, hairy, Irish earthling poet dude? I am not him, I fumed. All right, keep your antennas on. Jeez. He handed me back my ID, tipped his hat, wiped his nose across his sleeve. Welcome to Mars. You drive carefully now. I stepped on the rocket boosters, left them eating my Stardust. Bloody customs, I yelled to myself. Ha! Dónall Dempsey, indeed. Thank you. Oh, I've got that. I need to stick after all. I was Ireland's first potent residence in a secondary school, and they used to loan me out to the Boy Scouts in the morning, where I had to drastically change my set of love and sex and life and that. And in the evening, they outsourced me to the old person's home. I was reading my poems about love and life and everything like that. And all the old dears were very taken by this, and then they all wanted to tell me of their love lives when they were gals, when they were 20, in the 30s and the 40s, skinny dipping in the South China Sea, just missing the fall of Singapore, and other ephemera like that. This is Mabel telling me about her first kiss. I made, it's called Well Kiss My Popliteal Fossa. Does anybody know where your popliteal fossa is? I need a volunteer from the audience. You, lady in red, please. Now, I'm assured, so she tells me anyway, that this lady has got popliteal fossas. We shall see. As you can see, has got delightful knees, commonly known as the patellas. Could you turn around for me, please? That's it. Now, she has blatantly shown off her popliteal fossas, which are these depressions here and here, commonly known as the back of the knees. Thank you, you've got delectable popliteal fossas. This is called, Well Kiss My Popliteal Fossa. You've got to remember, I'll take up the hat again. I'm Mabel for this poem. Mabel had a habit of tossing her white hair every time she spoke. So I am now Mabel. I remember the golden tassels of my dress touching the back of my knees as I was kissed for the very first time, bent over in a clinch as if he were statuary. The tassels touch exquisite in itself, much more sensual than the actual awkward kiss, as I wondered, as his tongue dancing with my tonsils, if there was a name for that sort of thing. The back of the knees, I mean. Okay, Freddie, I commanded, seeing as I seem to be in command here. That's quite enough of that. Shattered, he reluctantly took his tongue out of my cheek. Cheeky bugger, thought I should never have let him go that far. Crestfallen, he stammered, sorry, you won't tell my mother, will you? Hid his erection with his topper. I went in at once and asked of father, Father, is there a name for the back of the knees? Of course there is, my love. It's your popliteal fossa. I tingled to my toes, having discovered my first erogenous zone and knowing that one day I would become a doctor. Thank you. I was teaching Tilly, my little girl, her letters and her numbers with little wooden blocks, coloured wooden blocks. And she used to love this, and I was watching the climactic end of Spartacus. And they're all going, I'm Spartacus, no, I'm Spartacus, and so is my wife. And she cuddled into me and listened to all of this. And then she ran around the house saying, I'm Sparkplugs, no, I'm Sparkplugs, because that's how she'd heard it. And so I'm teaching her letters. This is called I Am Infinitas. Here is our wooden O. It is our 0. Yellow. There is a 7, but it is missing. The puppy's chewing an orange too. Puppy, puppy, no! The admonished puppy looks astonished. This is a good chew, this orange too, it whimpers. She herself is 4 and a little bit more. When will I be this one? That's an 8, I tell her. It'll take you 4 more years of being you to be it. The 8 has fallen, on its side asleep, becoming an infinity. Ah, infinitas. My little infant, this is what you really are. This unboundedness of you, an infinity of you. Always after, when she is asked her age, she'll always answer with a hearty laugh, I am infinitas. Thank you. Married life for me was the Cally Road, and Camden and Kilburn was my other stamping ground. When I first came to London, one of the first peoples I met was a rather rotund vicar. When I say rather rotund vicar, I mean obsessively obese vicar. When I say obese vicar, I mean the Michelin man come to life in very flesh. And he did not like being a vicar. He said he had no belief, and he said, but it was like acting a part, and he was a very good actor, so he acted being a vicar. And he enjoyed it immensely. What he did love was his garden. And when he was in his garden, he was in his heaven. And the roses and the flowers loved them back madly. I asked him what he did to have these glorious flowers, and glorious they were. And this is what he told me. This is called the nature of culture. Fran, are you any good at being a petunia? You look like a petunia. Rosemary, gladioli?
Okay.
Yes? And can you be a herb? Lovely. So I got my petunias, gladiolas, and herbs. I better get them in the right position now. So this is his secret of success. Have you a working pulse? He asked his petunia. He went away cold as a snowball, he tells his gladioli. Oh yes, they're positively being matter. Oh yes, yes, he pontificates. Flowers like Shakespeare best, especially Pericles and other minor plays, rather than the Great Dane or say Othello. The herbs prefer Gilbert and Sullivan. Really? Poor wandering one, though thou art lost and lonely. No, no, my son! Spoken, not sung! Son, there. Poor wandering one, you are lost. Yep, it's working, all right. Good grief. I'll be back. Or sometimes a little dash of nall coward. What compulsion compels them, and who the hell tells them? No, no, my son, spoken, not sung. What compulsion compels them, and who the hell tells them? What could I say? His voice produced such a fecundity, such a fertility, that his word could not be doubted. Oh yes, yes, plants do like to be spoken to, but prefer a little culture. I don't know how many of you have been in this position. Michael has, I know. I guess this is for Michael. This was Michael's makeup days. He doesn't wear makeup anymore now. It's called Empty Orchestra, which of course you know is what karaoke means. Love is just a karaoke. You think you know the words until you sing along and find you only know half a chorus and maybe a word or two, and you try to bluff your way through. Not too sure how it goes. You sing highs when it sings lows and vice versa, and at 13 o'clock, and they're trying to shut the bloody thing down, you stand there defiantly alone with a gin and bitter lemon in the one hand and a burnt out fag in the other. Running mascara, making you look more like a panda than a living doll, and croak harshly, hoarsely, out of tune and out of time. I will survive. Crying. Crying. It's all right, darling. We've all been there sometime. Thank you, Graham. Now, we're near at the end, you'll be pleased to know. My daughter, Graham is the only other man I know that can verify the existence of this poem. It's called I Feel Pretty. Oh, so pretty. Tilly, we were a very naked family. Mum, dad, little girl used to go around the buff and think nothing of it. And at 4 o'clock in the morning, she used to bomb into our bed and jump in on top of us, and we were just a mountain of male and female flesh. And at 4 o'clock, we'd get rudely, and I say rudely and crudely awakened, because she'd invariably land on my wife's left breast or on my right testicle. Is this not true, Graham? Yes. I don't know if you, Michael, have you ever had your testicles trodden upon? Often. I thought you were going to say not lately, but often. It is a horrible way to wake up. This has got nothing whatsoever to do with that. It's going to be 4 o'clock in the morning. We've been to a cocktail party, darling, and Tilly is going to, and we're not human, and Tilly is going to come in and wake us up in her accustomed manner. This is called I Feel Pretty. So pretty. Wake, covered in glorious glitter, smelling strongly of PVA glue, sticking to my cheek, very hung over and covered in blue, orange, yellow, red feathers. A bubble recently blown perched upon my nose, I still half comatose. Tiny bubbles travel amongst my curls, as through a bigger bubble brightly nestling over my right eye, I observe my tiny daughter purse her lips and kiss more bubbles into being. Tilly! I force myself from frozen in sleep to somehow speak. What you do? See, even my syntax and sentence structuring is shot. She smiles sweetly. I'm pretty. Thank you. Finally, this is a poem called Ascailga, which means in Irish. My wife and I longed to have a child, and although we had great fun practicing, no child had as yet materialized. We went for test after the tested test, which was 6 months, and nothing happened. The test kept getting cancelled. Finally, notice I used the royal we there, fell pregnant. And I used to sleep down by my wife's belly, and I used to sing little patchwork quilts of songs and Irish sayings to her sleeping belly. She was Finnish, and she used to say, I don't know what you're saying, but keep singing it, cause I'm going to sleep. That is the effect I have on women. I make them fall asleep. Nearly lost Rosemary there. Right, so I'll translate as I go along. Ascailga, in Irish. Dún na sula, close your eyes. Cuddle go lá ma grá save. Sleep until day, my gentle love. Cuddle go sov go sieve. Sleep peacefully, peacefully. Iro can gialach sha is rocky gan green shafi. This moon will rise, this sun will set. Aragus grá I goni. Care and love always. Gach iha is gach law is gach iha. Every night, every day, every night. Ma plúrin, ma stórin, ma múrin, my little flower, my little treasure, my little darling, achanish, but now, cuddle go solve go sieve, sleep peacefully, gently, go fáinne and lay, until the break of day, le misha the tave, with me by your side. Losing our baby late into the night, holding this little thing that only attempted to be human. Unable to let go, I clasped the fetus tightly in my hand and buried it in the dawn of our local park under a recently planted red rose bush. In my grief, flower and baby became one, and night after night I climbed over high railings and even higher stars to talk to her in the dark in Irish, or sing my love is like a red, red rose, or cry. Almost got arrested one night by an Irish cop, drawn to the sound of Irish emerging from the darkness. Guess he let me go because it wouldn't look good on a charge sheet. The defendant was talking and crying to a flower. in Irish. Éist, éist, listen, listen. Dinna igen ekina, someone is crying in a darkison, in his darkness. Phil, Phil Aruno, oh ho, Phil Aruno is not imi home. Galarum akushla sto, oh ho. Agus chifik ku an glor. Violent. Thank you.